Welcome back to another off-season edition of Four Wolves Takes, where your boy Artis Woods will bring you four fresh Minnesota Timberwolves takes. Team USA basketball, people. Team USA basketball has been fun to watch. It has been entertaining. And given the amount of basketball I have seen so far, your boy has some takeaways. Again, welcome back to Four Wolves Takes. I have some thoughts about what we have seen so far, mainly about Anthony Edwards. I also have a Naz Reid take that I want to get to at the very end, because I cannot just gloss over the fact that the man just appeared on the Slam magazine. And I just want to say, the aura, the swag, that's the word, because people use aura a lot these days. I want to bring the word swag back. The swagger that this team has, the stars on this team have, it's just so special. It's so unique, man. You love to see it. Shout out to him for getting on the cover of that magazine. Like I said, I have a take for Naz Reid at the very end of the show. But I want to jump into some Team USA Anthony Edwards takes and observations, because we've seen some great basketball, man. Take number one. I alluded to this last episode. We obviously going to talk about Anthony Edwards, but I would be remiss to not bring up the Slim Reaper. I would be remiss to not bring up Kevin Durant. Easy money. The boy special. But the duo of KD and Anthony Edwards makes Team USA unstoppable. I didn't feel like this before because we hadn't seen KD on the floor. And we saw a whole lot of close games, whole lot of close exhibition games leading up into the games that mattered. And at times I was a little nervous, like, man, this team I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. They don't look like they have the chemistry needed to win gold. They don't look like a team that's prepared to take the next step. They look like a team that's a shot or two away from taking the L. When the games really matter, it looks like teams have maybe caught up. Maybe. It looks like teams have maybe figured them out. Maybe. Obviously, these teams are not afraid of Team USA. But KD back in the lineup, I knew would be ugly. I knew it would be ugly. And it has been ugly in a good way for Team USA. The duo of Ant and KD coming off of the bench has been special to watch. We know that KD is Anthony Edwards' favorite player of all time, his GOAT. We know that there's a big brother, little brother type relationship that we see forming before our very eyes. We know that. But seeing them both on the floor at the same time, playing alongside each other, the way they play off of each other, the way they feed off of each other, the energy that they both bring, the trash talk that they both spew. I mean, it's unique. You got Anthony Edwards slashing to the basket and KD just waiting at the tray or waiting at the elbow in the mid-range, ready to take his shots, ready to shoot his shots. You got KD at times with the ball on the perimeter, Anthony Edwards cutting bucket. I mean, they're not afraid to share the ball with each other. They're not afraid to play off of each other. Neither one of these guys are selfish. And you could tell Anthony Edwards is learning a lot from KD. He's learning a lot from KD. You could tell, I think even KD is learning some things from Anthony Edwards. You can tell that this relationship is something that is going to be useful for Anthony Edwards going forward, going to be useful for the Timberwolves going forward. But just in this moment, for Team USA, those two coming off the bench together, unguardable. You cannot stop that. You cannot stop that. Because really, both of these guys need double team attention. Both of these guys need your defense to be predicated on stopping that player. So to have them both in one unit, oh, please. Oh, please. And I was a guy who said, when KD comes back, I think KD's going to start. I was a guy who said Anthony Edwards, he should be a starter. But, man, this is why I also said I'm not Steve Kerr. I'm not these high-level coaches, because bringing these guys off the bench is almost even more potent. This team is there's a reason why these games are no longer close. These two off the bench it's crazy to see. Take number two. Ant makes the Wolves an ideal team to play for. I think I've alluded to this before as well, but I wanted to really drive this point home today. Did y'all see the surprise party that Team USA put together for Anthony Edwards? Do you see how Team USA plays with Anthony Edwards? How he energizes the team, how he gets along with everybody. They seem to all love Anthony Edwards. They seem to all respect Anthony Edwards. They seem to all realize that Anthony Edwards is on the come up and is not stopping anytime soon. The man is leading a team full of superstar players, some of the best players in the world, in scoring off of the bench, similar to D Wade in 2008. The man is playing lights out basketball and is not even getting a ton of minutes on the floor. Like I said, he's not starting. The respect is there. The camaraderie is there. I wouldn't say he's the heart and soul of the team. I wouldn't say he's the leader. I leave that to LeBron James. But what I will say is he's the energizer. He's the spark plug. He's the guy that's really getting everybody going, to my eye. That's his role. That is what he's doing. Now, again, I say he's making the Wolves an ideal team to play for because, again, you see how everybody is responding to playing with Anthony Edwards. So not only do I believe there are players on Team USA that could be looking like, man, maybe one day I wouldn't mind playing with dude. I like his energy. I like how he plays. I like how unselfish he is as a ball player. I like his defense. I like his attitude. I like his winning mentality. But on a smaller level, because we understand the Wolves' financial situation may not be conducive over the next few years to bring in another star, superstar, whatever the case may be. Who knows? They might not even need it. But role players are extremely important in basketball. Every now and then you're going to need an extra shooter, an extra defender, an extra ball handler, whatever the case may be, somebody that is not a star, but somebody that is a key role player that can help push your team to championship heights or keep your team at championship heights. I think those type of players are going to look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, see the way Anthony Edwards is leading and playing and be like, yo, I want to play for the Wolves. I might even take less money to play for the Wolves. Now, again, I'm sure Naz is going to get some huge extension at some point, and I think he should if he continues to ascend, right? I'm sure, Karl Anthony Towns is already getting paid. Rudy Gobert is already getting paid. These young rookies that you just drafted, at some point, they're going to have to get paid too. So maybe this is a further down the line prediction or take that I have right now that we'll see later down the line. Like, okay, yeah, he was right. Players want to play with the Wolves because of Anthony Edwards. But I really do believe that is the case. I really do believe this type of play, this type of camaraderie, seeing how other people respond to him, is going to facilitate in other players, whether it be stars or big-time role players, being like, yo, I want to play with that energy. I want to play with that aura. I want to have that swagger in my locker room because I believe he can help me win a championship. That's just me. We'll see how things progress over the years. Again, maybe you don't need too much more. But I'm just saying, I think the Wolves are a team that players are going to look at. As long as Anthony Edwards keeps doing what he's doing, I think the Wolves are a team players will look at. Take number 3. This is the last offseason. This is my favorite take of the day. This is my favorite take of the day as the people on YouTube read it. This is the last offseason that Anthony Edwards is not universally recognized as the best player in the world. The take reads, Ant will be the best player in the world by the offseason of 2025. This is the last offseason I believe we will look around and say, I'd rather have Wemby. I'd rather have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'd rather have Embiid. I'd rather have Luka. I'd rather have whoever the case may be, because I think Anthony Edwards is going to take that type of step this upcoming season. I just think he's going to take that type of step. I already felt like he should have been in consideration, legit consideration for MVP last season. I don't like how Anthony Edwards was just kind of glossed over last season. I know they didn't finish first in the West, But nobody thought they would finish top 3 in the West at the start of the season. And even though people thought Anthony Edwards would be nice, I don't know if people thought he'd be that nice coming into the season last year. And so I think when I look around the NBA right now, I say to myself, as I came up with this take and this prediction, who's in the conversation for best player in the world? Jokic, to me, currently is the best player in the world. Unquestioned. To me, to my eye. When he's on, there's no stopping Nikola Jokic. You got Luka, who just knocked the Timberwolves out of the playoffs. He's one of those guys. Giannis, when healthy, he can make a case for best player in the world. Shea, I think he's on the up and up, on the come up. I like what they've done this offseason. You can make the case in the next few years, he's going to be the best player in the world. Wemby, I mean, I know everybody's high on Wemby, myself included. I wasn't when he got drafted. I was like, I think we gassing it a little bit. We got a little too much gas in there, just a little bit. But I see it now, like, all right, bro, y'all was right. The boy a problem. But we'll see. We'll see. I look at all of these players and I'm like, look, I have questions about Luka's leadership and his defense. I just do. I look at Jokic and I look at the team around Jokic and I'm seeing guys leaving left and right. I'm seeing Bruce Brown leaving. I'm seeing KCP leaving. I'm seeing Jamal Murray not quite looking the same, not only in the playoffs, but, in Olympic play. And I'm like, how the Nuggets going to look this season? I see they added Russ. I don't know about the fit. I mean, that might not take away from him being the best player in the world, but if you're not winning at a high level anymore and you're getting bounced consistently by the Wolves or other teams, can you be the best player in the world? Not so sure. Not so sure. I look at Shea. We'll see. I like Shea as a player. Again, I think he has a ways to go on both. Well, I won't say on both. Offensively, he's ridiculous. Defensively, he's pretty good too. But if you ask me who I'd rather have right now, I'd take Ant over Shea. I didn't mention Tatum, who's the defending champion right now. If you ask me in a vacuum, who would I rather have, Ant or Tatum? I'm taking Ant. Wemby, again, the Spurs, how great are they going to be over the next couple years? If they're a non-playoff team, are we going to say he's the best player in the world? I think the combination of offense, defense, or swagger, and the fact that I believe that the Wolves will be a perennial Western Conference Finals team, a team that can get to the finals with it. Like, they have a legit chance to get to the finals this upcoming season. I think if they can do that, continue what they just did last season, and Anthony Edwards continues to progress, I think it's going to be hard to put anybody over him. I saw Judd earlier say, hey, MVP next season, I'm going to take it a step further. Best player in the world, because you could be MVP and not the best player in the world. Best player in the world by the offseason of 2025. Anthony Edwards will be that, and it will be, for the most part, undisputed. Favorite take of the day. I normally don't do hot takes. That one a little hot, but I believe it. Last take of the day. This is another fun one for me to end today's show. Like I said before, Naz Reid on the Slam magazine. Straight swag. I think he will be a top 3 scorer for the Wolves this season. When I look at the scoring splits, the scoring totals, the averages for the Wolves this past season, you had Anthony Edwards averaging about 26 points a game. You had Cat averaging about 22 points a game. You had Rudy Gobert averaging 14, and then you had Naz Reid averaging about 13 points a game. Rudy was a tick better. So if we want to not round, because I always round, like I say with Wolves players, Rudy was averaging 14 points a game. Naz Reid was averaging 13.5. So technically, Rudy is ahead by 0.5 points a game, whatever the case may be. I think not only does he cover the 0.5 difference this upcoming season, I think Naz Reid gets up to 17, 18 points a game. Wouldn't be shocked if he got up to 20 points a game this upcoming season. I think that Naz Reid cements himself as, he already won 6th Man of the Year. So how do I want to phrase this? Let's just say I think Naz Reid cements himself as a top 3 scorer on the Wolves. I think it'll be officially a big 3. I looked at Naz Reid in the regular season and really in the postseason at times and was like, come on, I need a little bit more from Naz. I saw these flashes in the regular season, and in the playoffs at times, it was like, yo, where's Naz Reid? Either he's not taking the shots that he needed to take, or he's missing the shots that he's taking, or he's just off. He had some moments where he went off. Most notably, I believe it was game 2 in the conference finals against the Mavs. But for the most part, I kind of was like, yo, we need a little bit more. We need a 25-point explosion from Naz Reid. I don't think we see any more 13 points a game from Naz Reid anymore. I don't think we see any more 14 points a game from Naz Reid anymore. I think this offense will be a little bit more centered around getting Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, and Naz the ball in their spots on the floor for them to flourish. And I think Rudy Gobert, even though he will still be great defensively, he will still rebound at a high level. He will always do that. I think his scoring is going to take a bit of a dip for Naz Reid's scoring to elevate at a higher level. And I think you'll get Anthony Edwards 28, 29 points a game. I think you'll get Cat 22 points a game. I think Naz is going to be right there, 18, 19. I think, put it like this, I would not be shocked to see Naz Reid this upcoming season push Cat for top 2 scorer on the Wolves. That is how I see it. I think he's going to take that type of leap. I think the confidence is there. I think the swag is there. I think he knows who he is as a basketball player, will continue to improve. I think the trust amongst his teammates are there. We're looking for a jump in Jaden McDaniels, and I do believe he'll take a leap too. But I think maybe the bigger leap will be Naz Reid from last year to this year coming up. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Maybe it's just the swag talking to me. Maybe it's just the swag talking to me like, yo, that looked like an 18 per game type score. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid after the Slam magazine, but I look at the numbers and I say, Naz Reid could do more. Naz Reid could do better, and I expect him to be that guy coming into this next season. That is all I have for y'all today on this week's episode of 4 Wolves Takes. I'm ready to see. I'm so confident Team USA is about to get this gold, man. It's just like, I'm just watching for pure entertainment, man. It ain't no nerves no more. It ain't this might be a close one. I'm not worried about no team remaining. I think this is easy money. No pun intended for KD. I think Anna's going to continue to dominate and lead the team in scoring. How special is that, y'all? Pay attention to what's happening. Best player in the world by the offseason of 2025. I will catch you on the next episode of 4 Wolves Takes.